Hi, my name is Samantha, and I decided to start a blog about my pregnancy journey. So here I go. I've been with my husband for 12 years. We've been together since 10th grade, so we are high school sweethearts. And we've been married for almost 7 years, coming up in November. And honestly, we weren't sure if we ever wanted to have kids. We kept going back and forth for years. And of course, you know how families are. They're like, after a year of being married, they're like, are you gonna have kids? Are you gonna have kids? And honestly, we just didn't know. We would kind of make a joke about it and laugh about it, but then deep down, we seriously weren't sure what we wanted to do. And as soon as I hit probably 26, I was like, okay, we've got to figure something out. And then we never did. And then 2 years went by, and finally we were ready to start trying. I had been on birth control since I was 16, and I'm 28 now. I stopped birth control in February of 2018, and I got pregnant in March of 2018. So it happened super fast. We weren't expecting it to happen that fast. People we know have told us, oh, it can take up to a year after you stop birth control to get pregnant. So I was really worried that, okay, well, if we're gonna do this, we need to do this now because we're getting close to 30, and that just was scaring me. So yeah, we stopped it, and a month later I was pregnant with my first positive pregnancy test. It was an awesome feeling. I never knew I could feel this way about someone that I've never even met. Something so small and tiny, and just not even anything but a little cell in your body. As soon as I got my positive pregnancy test, I felt different. I kind of had a feeling I was pregnant. I took one of those 6-day early first response pregnancy tests, which I highly recommend because they do work. It was literally 6 days before my missed period, and it came up positive. So I was not expecting that at all. My husband kept pushing me to take the test, and I was like, no, it's gonna be negative, it's too early, let's wait until at least, the first day of my period or my missed period or whatever. And he said, no, just take one. So I took one, and it was positive. So I would definitely recommend, if you're an impatient person like me, to get that 6-day first response pregnancy test. So that's a little history from me. I hope you guys will continue to follow me along with my pregnancy journey. I'm currently 18 weeks, sorry. I have my anatomical ultrasound next Friday, July 6th. So we will be finding out the gender of the baby, and we are super excited. I feel like it's been 8 months, not 4 months. Once again, I'm very impatient. So I will be updating a video next Friday on the gender reveal. So I'm super excited about that. But I did want to go over a few things for those of you who just found out you're pregnant or are trying to get pregnant, what I did. That way, hopefully I can help you along with your pregnancy journey. First of all, I started taking prenatal vitamins as soon as I stopped my birth control in February. And the prenatal vitamins I decided to take were these gummy ones, which I tell you, a lot of people start with the pills, and I'm not a pill taker at all. And these gummies saved me. Like, I started these as soon as I stopped my birth control, and during the first, I would say, 6 to 8 weeks of my pregnancy, I was super nauseous. I never threw up. But I was nauseous pretty much all day long until about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I could barely eat breakfast. I could barely eat lunch. It was horrible. And waking up to take pills every morning, those big prenatal vitamin pills, I could not imagine doing. So these gummies are amazing. They're sour, which sour helps my nausea a lot. I loved like putting lemons in my water, and the yellow Gatorade. Sour stuff seemed to help soothe my nausea. So these were a lifesaver. I could probably eat them like candy. I probably would have eaten like 10 a day if I could, but stick to 2. But I did also get an extra bottle of folic acid because I read online that you should take an extra one. And then when I had my first prenatal appointment at about 6 weeks, they did tell me to start taking an extra one. So I was glad that I had been doing that already. So these 2, definitely. This one is just a small pill. I don't think they come in gummies, but they may. But if you just see that they're really, really tiny, so they were easy to get down even with my nausea. The other symptom I had, while we're on the subject of symptoms, was sore boobs. The day after ovulation, which I was tracking on the Flow app, which I highly recommend, the Flow app. That thing is amazing. It helps track your periods, it helps track your ovulation, you can put symptoms in it, even like period symptoms. If you start your period, you can put when you're cramping, how heavy your bleed is, or flow is. You can put everything in there, how much water you're drinking a day, exercise. I mean, literally it tracks everything, and it was awesome. I found myself like obsessed with that app, that every time I would do something or drink a bottle of water or anything, I would put it in my app. And then, I mean, it only took me a month to get pregnant with that app, and I was tracking my ovulation and everything with that app. So it was amazing. I highly recommend the Flow app. What else can I say? Oh yeah, so sore boobs. The day after my ovulation day in my cycle, I woke up and my boobs were extremely sore. I could not even put on a bra. I kind of felt like, wow, this month's gonna be a really bad period. And I kept telling my husband, this one's gonna be a bad one, because in the past, when I would have had a bad period, my boobs would be really sore. And he's like, well, hopefully you don't have one this month. And I'm like, well, we'll see, you know. But they have not stopped being sore ever since then. And I'm 18 weeks now. So everybody's different. But for that, I recommend just hot baths and just no bra as much as you can. I mean, I work full time, so of course I have to have a bra on at work, but as soon as I get home, that bra is off. And sometimes I would even sleep with no shirt on, just so nothing is rubbing up against that area, because it was so sore. Another thing I started doing right away, as soon as I found out I was pregnant, was moisturizing my belly, because previously I had been on Weight Watchers for about 1.5 years, 2 years, and I had lost 50 pounds. So I was extremely nervous about stretch marks, and I still am. I think about it every day, and I moisturize my belly every day. It is growing, as you can see. I'm getting a bump there, a big bump, and I still moisturize daily. I've actually started moisturizing twice a day, in the morning before I go to work, and at night before I go to bed. And the things I used, I read so many things, and stuff can be so expensive, and I didn't want to go out and spend so much money on creams that I don't even know if they're gonna work or not. So I basically just bought the essentials, and they've lasted me this whole 18 weeks, and that's with putting it on twice a day for the past week or so. The first thing I would recommend is cocoa butter. Natural, all natural, just regular, good old fashioned cocoa butter. I put this on everywhere, every day. The other thing I would recommend is 100% coconut oil. They say this is good for so many different things. Like, the more I read about it, the more I love it. You can even put it on your teeth, which is a totally different situation, but it's awesome. It does go on pretty thick, so you don't need a lot of it. And this tub has lasted me 18 weeks, and I mean, it's still pretty full. So this is super cheap. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but definitely not more than $10 for this whole thing. So I mean, it's awesome. The one thing I did also get was Burt's Bees Mama Bee Belly Butter. I heard a lot about this online, so I wanted to try it. I'm not a huge fan of the way it goes on, but it does smell really good. It also goes on thick, so you don't need a lot of it. A lot of it will spread all around your belly. Even now with this big old bump, it spreads all over my belly and my sides with just one little scoop. So this also has lasted me. I'm about out now, so this weekend I'll probably be getting more of this. The one thing that I did that was most expensive was the bio oil. This was about $27, $28 for this little bottle, but you can see in 18 weeks, I've only used about that much, if you can see. So, I mean, it does go a long way. I just pour a little bit on my belly like this and then rub it in and all over my boobs and all over. I even try to put it on like my butt and thighs because they say you can get stretch marks there too, which again, stretch marks freak me out, which I'm sure all of you are probably a little freaked out by them too. But it is what it is. We're growing a baby, y'all. So yeah, this was the most expensive one, but again, it's lasted me a long time. It'll probably last me most of my pregnancy journey, I would assume, or even longer because heck, I'm halfway there and not even halfway through the bottle. So, okay, well, those are my first trimester needs or stuff that I used to get pregnant, to prevent stretch marks. The last thing I'll recommend is a good water bottle because you will want to stay hydrated. I was so thirsty I still am always thirsty. So that's another thing. Once again, I will be updating videos probably weekly, and I hope you guys follow along with my journey and enjoy my pregnancy journey. And if you're pregnant, congratulations, and we're in this together and we can do this. All right, y'all, bye.